Hello family and friends, this is Rob the Sapper Gardener representing Essayons Family Garden, and today we're going to do something a little bit different on this episode of Chow Time, sorry. We're going to be doing a traditional Filipino dish, and I'm doing something a little different. I waited, the family's gone out. Mrs. SG and the boys are going to do some errands. We're dropping off some seeds at the post office for a bunch of our friends in the YouTube community. We are picking up a package from the post office that I got a notice that was there from another one of our YouTube friends, and then she's just gonna hang out. She's just gonna hang out with the boys until around 4 or 5ish, and hopefully by then I've got the dish done. So we are doing chicken adobo, and chicken adobo is it's a very traditional dish in the Philippines. Some people might say you could almost say it's the national dish of the Philippines. So it is iconic but easy to make and easy to customize. The way that I'm doing it today is one I've researched a little bit so I can try to make it as authentic as possible, but it's really hard to say I'm going to make it as authentic as possible because every region has a different version of chicken adobo. And even some homes have different versions of chicken adobo. There's so many different things that you can add, you can take out to make the dish yours. And I'm going to make a version that I'm going to surprise my wife with. She doesn't know what I'm doing. She does know it involves chicken, but I've got 1,000 different chicken recipes in the arsenal. So she doesn't know. She probably has a sneaking suspicion, but she'll find out when she gets home. And I'm hoping that when she tastes it, it really reminds her of home. So that's my wish. So let me take you guys over to the kitchen island so I can show you the recipes. We're going to do a marinade on the chicken for a few hours, and then we're going to take the chicken and we're going to cook it, and I'll walk you guys through those steps as we get to them. So hang on. So the adobo marinade includes a few simple ingredients. We're using chicken thighs, bone-in, because my wife likes bone-in chicken in her adobo. And I am also using some boneless, skinless chicken breast because I don't like bones. I like to be able to cut my meat up and eat it a little bit more easily. And the marinade also includes minced garlic, bay leaves, black peppercorns, white vinegar, and you can also use rice vinegar if you have it, and soy sauce. And you can use a low sodium soy sauce. You just have to adjust your salt seasoning once you are done. And once you have gotten everything done, you will mix it together with your chicken, and you will marinate it for 3 to 6 hours or overnight if you choose to. And then you will have everything ready to go on and make your chicken adobo with a few other ingredients. You will need some chicken broth or chicken stock, some brown sugar, some olive oil to brown your chicken, some water to adjust your liquid level, and some salt and pepper for seasoning according to your taste. Alright, I showed you guys the marinade ingredients and the other optional ingredients, and almost forgot one. You have to know who you're cooking for, and my wife loves potatoes in her chicken adobo. So I'm going to cut out these potatoes, give them a rinse, and then set them aside and get started on the dish. So we got our cast iron pan heated up. We got a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in, and we're going to brown our chicken, which we have drained the marinade out, but we're saving the marinade. We filtered it so we could get some of the peppercorns and the garlic out, but we'll add more as we cook if we need it. But we're going to add this marinade after we brown our chicken, and then we're going to start simmering. So let me get 2 hands free so I can get this chicken into this pot. And we're going to cook the chicken on both sides about 3 to 5 minutes just to char it. At this point, you're not cooking the chicken, you're searing it so you can lock in the flavor, but we're going to finish cooking it in the marinade later on in the process. And that's perfect. So we're going to take this out and put our second batch in. So our second batch is pan seared, almost fully cooked, not quite. Now we're going to add the first batch back in. It's nice to get it as flat as you can, but not necessary as long as your liquid covers the chicken. So now we're going to add our marinade back in. And that doesn't fully cover the chicken, but we're also going to add in some of our homemade chicken bone broth. And that almost covers it, but if it doesn't, not to worry. We're also going to add in some water. So it's important to try to cover your chicken. Some of the liquid's going to reduce down, and you can adjust your chicken there. So we're going to bring this up to a boil, let it boil for a few minutes, and then we're going to reduce the temperature down, and then after it's cooked for about 15-20 minutes, we're going to start adding in our salt and pepper to taste and our brown sugar to taste also. So we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes. Alright, so our chicken has come to a boil, our chicken adobo. We've reduced the temperature down, and we're just going to simmer it for probably about 15-20 minutes. We're going to check the seasonings, salt and pepper to taste, and then at that point I'll add in the potatoes, because you typically want to cook this for at least about 30 minutes, and you don't want your potatoes to fall apart, so you want to add them about the last 15 minutes. But you can cook this dish minus the potatoes for as long as you want. You can cook it an hour and have fall off the bone, chicken, if that's what you want to do. But most of the recipes I've done, and most of the time when I've seen it cooked by my wife, it has not been completely fall apart, mushy chicken, mashed potatoes. So I'm trying to get it as close to hers as I can. And I'm using the cast iron pot to cook ours. Typically we use one of our other pots, but just watching our friend Dee at Native Tears, she's got a playlist, Cast Iron Wednesday, and this will hopefully go in the Cast Iron Wednesday playlist. One of my previous videos that was on there was from our old channel, and one of our other viewers reminded us that it's not there anymore, so we'll have ours entry into Cast Iron Wednesday. So if you haven't checked out Dee's channel, Native Tears, please go over and check her out. She's a sweet person, and a lot of great outdoor videos, along with our other friend Donna at Dream Creations and Adventures, I think it is. But I'll leave Donna's channel below in the description, and Dee's below in the description. But one of the things that I want to start trying to do on the videos, and this is a little separate from this one, Oh, hold on. Let me go check on my pot. Alright, disaster averted. So I thought I turned down the switch for the front where the pot is, but I changed the switch for the back. So that's what happens when I don't have Mrs. SG here to guide me and keep me on track. So, but as I was saying before, I had to step away. One of the things I want to do, I like to acknowledge other channels and hopefully, you know, get people to come together in the community and watch like-minded people. And I think what I'll try to do, and I've done it a few times before, is just talk about the last channel that I've watched on YouTube. And obviously, you know, if I'm watching a channel and I talk about it, you know, it interests me because, you know, you subscribe to a lot of channels, but you don't always watch all the videos of the people you're subscribed to. But some you do, some you don't. So the last channel that I watched today was the Bull's Garden, and another small YouTube channel like us, another garden related channel like us. And Bull's video was about him starting some seeds indoors in his basement area. We have a similar area downstairs, but we don't put plants in ours. I've got some other things that we won't discuss on this video, but that was a good idea. You know, some plants just lend themselves to starting as early as possible, and some plants do well indoors, like peppers. One of the things he's growing is shishito peppers, which we grew and did phenomenal for us. So we may follow his lead and do a few plants indoors, maybe some pepper plants, because we've got a ton of peppers. So 3 channels. Hopefully you guys will go check out the Bull's Garden, Dream Creations, and Native Tears, and hopefully you'll enjoy those. And I've got a text from Mrs. SG, so I better check to see. Even though I think she's probably just showing me the fun stuff they're doing out. So I'll be back in about 15 minutes to give you an update on the chicken adobo. So our chicken adobo's been cooking for about 15-20 minutes on low boil. So now we're going to add in our potatoes that have been washed and rinsed, and we're going to cook it for probably about 15-20 more minutes, or until the family gets home. And what we're also going to do, because chicken adobo is always served with rice, so while this finishes cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and start a pot of rice that we'll serve this over. So we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes. So we don't have much left growing, but we still have green onions. So I'm gonna take a few of these in, and we're gonna garnish our chicken adobo with it. Family and friends, you can see I am joined by the Sapper clan, SK1, Mrs. SG, and SK2. And we have our chicken adobo, authentic as possible, cooked by an American male. So we're gonna let Mrs. SG give it the taste test and a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I take it, it is good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, buddy. So, as I was saying earlier in the voiceover, I did do chicken thighs because Mrs. SG likes bone-in chicken. I did boneless, skinless chicken breast for me because I don't like the bones as much, even though I know it does probably help with flavor. So, SK1. Where are you at? 2 thumbs up from SK1. SK2, how was your faux chicken adobo chicken nugget? How are your chicken nuggets? Okay, 2 thumbs up. So I'm glad that, well, I guess I probably should taste it too. Wow, it is good.
This is how I want my potatoes. Like, it's not too soft, not too.
Yeah. So I mentioned while you guys were out to add the potatoes like the last 15-20 minutes so they don't get mushy and fall apart. The chicken is perfect. And the potatoes are perfect too. And one thing that I did add that I didn't talk about earlier in the video, I did add a light sprinkle of the achouette powder in, just to give it a little bit darker color. And I probably forgot to mention it, but I'll put it at that point in the video that when I added the potatoes in, I also sprinkled in a little bit of the brown sugar and salted it for salt and peppered it for taste. So everything looks good. So I am very happy that my wife is happy, because happy wife, happy life. I don't do a great job of it all the time, but at least I'm trying. So we're going to finish up our meal. We're going to finish watching the Army-Navy game. Go Army, beat Navy.
Go Army!
Beat Navy. Go Army, beat Navy.
Go Army. First and goal.
It's tied up 7-7 now. By the time I post this on Wednesday, we'll know if we actually beat Navy. I'm hopeful. But for now, we're going to sit down and enjoy this traditional chicken adobo recipe that I cooked for my wife and my son, so that we can celebrate that side of our family's heritage. So, as always, God bless our great country, America. God bless you, wherever you may reside around the world, your garden, your harvest, your kitchen, your meals. And especially, God bless your family. Have health, success, and prosperity as we do. Take care. Sapper out. Go Army, beat Navy.